It's good to have you join us on this edition of NAFDAC and Your Health. On this program, we bring you information on the activities of NAFDAC and ensuring that the health of Nigerians are safeguarded. My name is Amanda Ugo. This week's edition of the program will begin by focusing on the commemoration of the International Women's Day, an annual global celebration, and then we'll bring you updates on NAFDAC's activities across different states and geopolitical zones. NAFDAC on the 8th of March at the Abuja office of the agency joined the rest of the world to commemorate the International Women's Day. This year's commemoration was themed Count Her In, Invest in Women, and the hashtag Inspire Inclusion. The Director General of NAFDAC, who is herself a woman of substance, speaks on the significance of women in the society.
It's International Women's Day. From my perspective, every day is an International Women's Day. Why? Because without women, the world cannot function very well. So every day is a Women's Day. Any country that does not have gender equity is a country that cannot develop rapidly. It's a country that will be wasting the economic potentials. It is a country where children may not be as educated. It is a country where violence will always be. Why? Because it is the woman that makes a country to function. Without women, and I'm emphasizing it, a country cannot function. And without educating women, a country cannot function. Train a woman, you are training a village. You do not train a woman, you are creating children that will become social problems in the country. So the gender equity is a big thing for me. My own mother was not allowed to go to school. She was withdrawn at standard 3. And right from the beginning, she stressed it on us that we must get educated. She sacrificed everything to make sure that we're educated because she was a girl. But the hard work, the efforts that she made me today. Therefore, education is a big thing as far as gender equity is concerned. And making sure that the talents of women are harnessed very well. There are role models of women in the past. Madame Curie is an example. Deborah in the Bible is an example of women that were part of nation building or science and technology building in terms of Madame Curie. Therefore, my address or my advice or my pet peeve for women this year is that make sure you know who you are and the endowment that God has given you. God has given everybody an endowment. And if we don't use our endowment or are not allowed to use our endowment, the country, the community is the loser.
To commemorate this year's International Women's Day, NAFDAC invited partners and friends to its premises to look at the significance of women, not just from the perspective of NAFDAC, but also from the perspective of others from various areas of endeavor in a bid to achieve a safer, more inclusive, and more equitable society. There were discussions on the theme of the event, and participants and panelists spoke on the efforts of women to have a good society and why the female gender deserves to be treated well.
As the firstborn at the CFBT, Ghana must grow back full of money under my mother's bed. Then suddenly there was nothing. I mean, nothing. That's primary school that my mom used to teach small became our saving grace. At least we can eat. And this woman went ahead, one by one, auctioning out her gold. Auctioning out her gold. You know what that means? I appreciate every mother sitting here. Please put your hands together for me. But one thing that got me is that whenever my father gets money that we should go to school, he would tell my mother, instead of my girls not to go to school, let the guys stay. And that was what got me where I am. He preferred that the girls should go to school.
Threading through us is that these are not because we find men who had good mothers and your own personal pity is opening up doors for the women around you. The day you leave the office, another man who came in who was never raised by a mother of compassion sits on the same desk and decides that women are not important here and does whatever he wants.
I actually inspired my wife to go for further studies. This time it was so inconvenient. If you're a man and your wife have to leave you for 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, you know what that means. But I was able to allow her to go. I think when she came back, she felt so encouraged, so challenged. Secondly, I'm blessed with a daughter. I had to travel all the way about almost 200 kilometers 2 days ago. I came back yesterday just to enable her to take jam work. It's not jam proper, jam work. Something I would have forfeited because of the costs. But it cost me more than 60,000 to be able to go get her to write that mock exam preparatory to her own mock exam. I think there is no better way to do it than deliberately. It has to be deliberate. There's a paradigm shift. Gone are the days when male children were always prioritized by parents. Today, you can have male children that turn out to be a thorn in the flesh. But if you have a daughter, I tell you the truth. Again, I'm sorry, I was really impressed. My mom gave birth to about 10 of us, and all of us, only a lady. Only a lady. When our mom was to pass on and give her last, I am telling you this from the depth of my heart, and tears are almost welling my eyes. My mom passed on in the hand of none of us but my sister. So I'm already seeing myself in the hand of my daughter tomorrow.
My organization, like I earlier said, there's no difference between a man and a woman. We do equal. And in a place like road safety, things are done based on merit. Opportunities are given to both men and women. And as I talk, let me talk as a mother. The girl child and the boy child should be given equal rights. And let the girl child know that whatever the boy child can do, she can also do it. And I don't want to say it again. And again, in the past, they look at particular careers, men for men. And they say this one are for women. Women are allowed to pass, like in my place, they say go and be a nurse, a teacher, so they can close early and go and look after the children. But I tell you now, we have better pilots at women. We have better road safety officers as women. We have better drivers as women. In road safety, there is something we call public enlightenment, and we go out to educate everybody. And we see a lot of women driving. When you go and look at our record, when we both crash, you know, when a woman is doing anything, she puts her passion into it with the mind that my family is waiting for me at home. So if you see the record crash, women are few because they give themselves 100%.
There was also a call for women to always support and encourage their fellow women.
I miss all the clamor for women support women, women support women. I tend to have been service all this while because women, I'm sorry to say, we are the problem of nation. But God will help us. It's not so, it's the same in my organization though. So, and our women, are trying their best to carry other women along. Thank God we all hear the word of God from time to time. It is helping us, going a long way to help us. But naturally there is that thing, that problem a woman always have with another woman. It's quite unfortunate. But with this very type of program, with this very type of initiative of investing in our women, I think our women will have to sit up. We have to bury the hatchet. We have to forget whatever animosity we have with each other and embrace ourselves. The whole bulk of stress emanating from the situation of the country is falling on us, the women. And it's a whole lot of stress already. We are overstressed. So that small stress of coming from a fellow woman is not necessary anymore. So I'm saying that we have to forget whatever it is. If you see a fellow woman that dressed well or knows how to dress more than you, say, my sister, I like your dressing, I like your outfit, I like your hair. Who is your blog? Who makes your clothes? Can you take me to the place? We share experiences together and they carry ourselves, each other along.
The 2024 International Women's Day celebration by NAFDAC also featured other activities such as school debates and drama presentation.
The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mrs. Mojisola Christiana Adeyeye, wishes all women across the globe a happy 2024 International Women's Day. NAFDAC, customer-focused, agency-minded.
NAFDAC and Your Health continues shortly. Please stay with us.
NAFDAC has observed with dismay the wanton illegality of unlicensed vendors peddling drugs to unsuspecting members of the public, despite efforts aimed at tackling the menace of drug hawking. NAFDAC hereby advises the general public to desist from buying drugs from these merchants of death. Drugs sold by hawkers are fake, counterfeit, and substandard. The hawkers expose the drugs to inclement weather, which degrades their active ingredients since they are stored in conditions that render drugs poisonous. The drugs could therefore damage the liver and kidney or lead to the death of the consumer. Drug hawkers constitute threat to our national security. Hawking of drug is one of the main causes of drug abuse as victims continue to fetch drugs from unregistered and unregulated hawkers. Consequently, drug abusers soon succumb to the dilemma of depression, personality disorders, suicidal thoughts, mental disorder, sleep problems, organ failure, damaged immune system, memory loss, anxiety, social and economic problems. NAFDAC hereby warns those involved in the nefarious act of hawking drugs to desist from this illegal act or face the wrath of the law. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. You are still tuned to NAFDAC and Your Health.
NAFDAC update begins from the Northwest Zone. The Sokoto State Office of NAFDAC has further intensified efforts to conscientize the people of the state about the activities of the agency and how they can remain alive and healthy by ensuring that they patronize only NAFDAC-approved products. It was as a result of the glaring efforts by the Sokoto State Office of NAFDAC that the members of the Nigerian Association of Patent and Proprietary Medicine Dealers in the state paid a courtesy visit to the agency's office on the 5th of March 2024. The visit, according to NAPMED Sokoto State, is to foster further collaboration and adherence to laid down rules and regulations governing their trade. In the same vein, the NAFDAC Unit Head, Ports Inspection Directorate, Ilela Border in Sokoto State, also paid a courtesy visit to Ilela Border on the 5th of March 2024 to show NAFDAC's readiness to play its statutory role at the border ahead of the border opening ceremony. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has shut down 2 sachet water factories in Alu, Ikwere local government area of Rivers State, for producing untreated and unregistered sachet water. The action was carried out sequel to credible information concerning their activities. One of the factories, located at Omokiri, Alu, close to Port Harcourt, was producing FICO-1 table water in an unhygienic environment with no filtration procedure and UV light. The facility was not approved or registered by NAFDAC, and there was no NAFDAC number printed on the sachet. The factory workers took to their heels on citing NAFDAC officials, who later confiscated their equipment and destroyed all the sachet water already packed for sales. Another unregistered factory at the same axis was discovered to be cloning 2 registered sachet water products. One of the products was bearing Enugu address. The owner was arrested while more than 1 truck of sachet water set for distribution were destroyed and factory shut down. The agency is using this medium to warn the general public to be mindful of the sachet water they consume by ensuring that they have NAFDAC number and always avail the agency of information on places where fake products are being produced. Meanwhile, Rivers State Coordinator of NAFDAC, Pharmacist Emmanuel Onogu, has warned sachet water producers to always maintain good hygienic practices in their factories. He gave this warning while featuring as a guest speaker during the Association of Table Water Producers ATWAP Rivers State Chapter's meeting in Port Harcourt. The coordinator of NAFDAC office Rivers State also said NAFDAC will not hesitate to shut down any water factory where standard practices are being flouted. The ATWAP members were also educated on NAPAMs and online registration of their products. The Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, Enugu State Branch, in its commitment to continually lend the necessary support to NAFDAC in ensuring that only drugs of good quality and standard are available to the public, and also rid the society of activities of the peddlers of fake and unapproved drugs, paid a courtesy visit to the Southeast Zonal Director of NAFDAC, Pharmacist Martins Iluyomade FSI. The entourage, which comprised the chairman of ACPN Enugu Branch, Dr. Chido Okoye, and other key officials of the association, extensively deliberated with the Southeast Zonal Director of NAFDAC on ways of sanitizing the state of fake and counterfeit drugs. The visit was also an opportunity for the ACPN members to officially welcome Pharmacist Martins Iluyomade, who is their professional colleague to the Southeast Zone. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has intensified efforts to enlighten and educate potential medium, small and micro enterprises (MSMEs) entrepreneurs in Kaduna. During the enlightenment efforts, which was spearheaded by NAFDAC's Northwest Zonal Director, Mrs. Josephine Deyelim, participants at the recently concluded NAFDAC International Trade Fair were enlightened on the process of registering their products with NAFDAC to boost their economic impact. The Zonal Director encouraged the intending MSME manufacturers to get their products registered with NAFDAC as the process had been streamlined. The Northwest Zonal Director also commended Professor Muji Adeyeye, the NAFDAC Director General, for the achievements, saying Professor Adeyeye had repositioned the agency to become customer-focused, agency-minded. Mrs. Degilim urged potential entrepreneurs to visit NAFDAC office for proper guidance and avail the agency's excellent online platforms. According to her, entrepreneurs can use the NAFDAC online platforms in order to get their products registered. She added that they can easily upload their documents even from the comfort of their bedrooms and source other current and relevant information. The NAFDAC Zonal Director was joined by the representative of the Plateau State Governor, Mr. Sule Musa Haruna, the Commissioner of Commerce and Industry, and other dignitaries in inspecting some MSME products at the Plateau State Pavilion during the recent 45th Kaduna State International Trade Fair. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has reiterated its commitment to simplify its registration process. This was stressed during the meeting between the stakeholders and the Northeast Zonal Director of the agency, Mr. Kenneth Azikwe in Gombe State. According to Mr. Azikwe, the online NAFDAC registration platform known as NAPAMS has been introduced to eliminate the bottleneck and the third-party phenomenon in the product registration process, to enable applicants to register their product easily and from the comfort of their homes. The Automated Product Administration and Monitoring System, NAPAMS, also captures names of all registered products in the country. Mr. Kenneth Azikwe further explained that even the fees to be paid are communicated during registration on the platform, and after the form is submitted, NAFDAC gets back to the applicant and an inspection date is fixed. The inspection is done and samples of the product are taken to the laboratory for testing. When the results are out with other parameters, NAFDAC number is issued. The Northeast Zonal Director assured the stakeholders that the process is seamless and will enable the applicants monitor all the processes of registration online and even print out their registration certificate without having to come to NAFDAC office repeatedly. The stakeholders, however, promised to cascade the information to those who were not present at the meeting. That was NAFDAC Update. You have been updated.
That brings us to the end of this edition of NAFDAC and Your Health. We promise to bring you another insightful and informative package, same time, same station, next week. Please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you have any information on acts that negate the activities of NAFDAC.
You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded.
Remember, it is illegal to produce, import, distribute, market, advertise, or sell unwholesome food products, drugs, chemical, and medical equipment. Do not engage in these acts. Till we meet again next week, stay safe.